Hey, how you doing? This is John and welcome to John's Long Box. Today I'm doing another board game video. This is Unmatched, and it doesn't matter which set it is, they're all the same, but the Unmatched systems. This is Battle of Legends, and you see I got Beowulf and Little Red Riding Hood. I got Battle of Legends over here. I got Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I got, geez, what else do I got? I got a few more. Jurassic Park. I pretty much got all of them. I just didn't get the Marvel ones because, I kind of want, as much as I like comics, I'm getting a little oversaturated with Marvel. So this is a battling game. It's best, if you ask me, one-on-one, but you can play up to 4 players. So you can have like teams of 2 or you can have like a battle royale of 4 against 4. The problem is when you have 3 or 4 players, you tend to team up on the weakest guy, and then somebody sits there eliminated while the rest of the team plays. But if as long as you do a full-on battle royale, it's actually a pretty good game. So this game is it's like you take a whole bunch. So look at this. So this game, you have Medusa, you have King Arthur, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and Sinbad. This is Little Red Riding Hood and Beowulf. This is Achilles. Everything's falling on me. This is Achilles. I can't pronounce these, but Bloody Mary, and then 2 characters that I'm not familiar with. And then I have it set with Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Invisible Man, Bigfoot, believe it or not, Bruce Lee, and Sherlock Holmes, and Moriarty, and things like that. So this is my favorite. I like to play Dracula. So this is Dracula, and then these are his wives. They call them the sisters in this game. If you buy the game, it comes with these little tokens that represent this. So all the sidekicks are tokens. I went to Etsy and got upgrades because I'm a crazy person. And Dr. Jekyll is this figure. And then you flip this token to whether or not he's Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. So the game is real simple. These are all the rules. On your turn, you must take 2 actions. And you may choose 2 different actions. So you have a deck of cards. At the beginning of the game, you draw 7 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on your turn, you do 2 things. You must do 2 things. And you never get your cards back. When you run out of cards and you have to draw a card, you take a point of damage. And you have these little dials. So you start out with 13 hit points, and every time you take damage. So on your first turn, you these are your 3 choices. You could either maneuver, you could scheme, or you could attack, and you could do them twice. So if you maneuver, you draw a card. That's mandatory. Then you move your fighters, optional. And when you say your fighters, so if I'm Dracula, these are all my fighters. Everybody could move. And on this tells you your specific rules, and your every figure has a little rules and a special ability. This sword symbol means melee. If it's an arrow, then it's range. And range attacks are really good. If Dracula is on a blue spot and he has ranged attack, he can attack any other blue spot. So and then the spots are colored like this, so you don't have to deal with line of sight. It's newbie friendly, very newbie friendly. So you could do these 3 choices. So you draw a card, move, or you play a scheme card. That's the lightning, or you attack. So if you do a scheme card, you just play the scheme card. You do what it says. If you maneuver, so I draw a card and then I can move. I can move through friendly figures. So all these with the black bases are friendly. So I could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this one can't attack because there's no line because I'm all melee. So these 2 can attack. And then I play a card. It's stuck. So this would be an attack card. So I play this card face down, and then I know I'm using the same deck of cards just to explain. And then I would play this card face down if I was Dracula, and then you compare. So this does 5 damage, this blocks 3, so I take 3 damage. And then you read this. Both of these powers fire simultaneously unless there's some sort of conflict, and then the defender always fires first. And that's it. That's the rules. That's all the rules. There's purple cards that are called versatile cards. These are attack or defense. Now, the only other rule you need to know is only the figure who's named could use this. So Dr. Jekyll right now I can't use any Dr. Jekyll cards because this token is Mr. Hyde. And that's part of my rules of Mr. Hyde. Is at the start of I start the game as Dr. Jekyll. At the start of your turn, you may transform to Mr. Jekyll or Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. While Mr. Hyde, you take 1 damage whenever you maneuver. So you want to, and some of these cards, like the Dr. Jekyll cards, are really good for attack. The Mr. Hyde cards are good for attack. The Jekyll cards are good for defending. The Dracula cards are really good because he's one of the few that can regenerate. So if he attacks, he could take damage. If his wives get killed, he could summon them back. And these only have 1 hit point. They don't have a dial. So if they take any damage, they disappear. But he has a few cards that brings them back. And they're good for blocking because you can't move through enemies. Right? And that's really it. It's a really good game. It's a lot better than it sounds like. It's a lot more fun than you think. And it's really balanced. I played a Robin Hood versus Bigfoot, and Robin Hood was just killing everybody because he has ranged attacks. Until I realized that once you get familiar with the cards, anybody could take out anybody else. Now that the Unmatched has lost the Marvel license, I might pick up the Marvel characters because I just didn't want it. I didn't want this, which I considered like a nice mix of like mythological and legendary characters. I didn't want it to become a Marvel game, but now that it's moved on from Marvel, maybe I'll pick up the few. And it's the street level guys, so it's like Daredevil, Black Widow, Moon Knight, and stuff like that. All right, so I'll see you with another video. Bye-bye.